What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. So let me address the comments that the baby made at Rolling Loud. I never made a video really expressing my true sentiments about everything, so now I'm gonna get back around to doing so. But now let's rehash what the baby said at the Rolling Loud Music Festival. The man said, if you didn't show up, and he said, and I quote, if you didn't show up today with HIV, AIDS, or any of them deadly sexually transmitted diseases that'll make you die in 2 to 3 weeks, then put your cell phone lighter up. Ladies, if your vagina smell like water, put your cell phone lighter up. Fellas, if you ain't sucking, you know what, he said the D word, in the parking lot, put your cell phone lighter up, right? So I heard this man say this, and I'm like, that's an ignorant ass statement to make. He ignorant as hell for making that comment, and I'm looking like, why the hell would he even say that? Like, that's a weird ass roll call, right? Now, I didn't heard, you know what I'm saying, ladies, if you single out here and you pay all your bills and you got a big butt, like you got a, fat, you know what, and all of that, put your hands in the air and scream and all that. I done heard all the ladies, if you fine, you ain't got to worry about a man for nothing, put your hands in the air. Fellas, if you making money, you can get any girl you want, put your hands in the air or whatever, scream or whatever. I done heard all of that. But to start off by saying if you ain't got HIV and AIDS, that's silly as hell. And all that let me know is dude do not know how, he does not have the ability to read the room, and he ignorant as hell. That's an ignorant ass comment, like for real. Like you're at a music festival, filled with people from all walks of life, all backgrounds, all ethnicities, and people that may be suffering from all different type of ailments. And I guarantee you, there were several people in the crowd who were fans of the baby who may be suffering from HIV and AIDS. For real. And when they heard him say that, they felt like, damn. Like, they really felt isolated by one of their favorite rappers. For real. Like, it was insensitive as hell for him to say that. And I'm looking like he make it seem like people who got HIV and AIDS ain't worth shit when he made that little statement right there in that roll call. Like, you only should put your cell phone lighter up if you ain't suffering from HIV and AIDS. Then said, ignorant as hell, if you ain't suffering from one of them deadly sexually transmitted diseases that'll make you die in 2 to 3 weeks. Like, for real. Like, do you know how that can make somebody that got HIV or AIDS feel? Come on, that's wild as hell for him to say. And I'm like, why the hell? It sounds super specific. I'm like, did he get into it with somebody that got HIV and AIDS? Or did he get into it with somebody that, he said, fellas, if you ain't sucking, you know what, in the parking lot? Did he get into it with somebody that's homosexual? And did he link being homosexual to having HIV and AIDS? I don't know, right? But either way, I'm looking like, bro, why the hell would you say that? You're not at some little hole in the wall club. You're not at some little rinky dink little small little town or whatever. You at a festival, right? So he don't have the ability to read the room, and people got pissed off at it because he made people that have HIV and AIDS feel like their life ain't worth shit by what he said, right? And if you do that, you got to be able to know that there are consequences behind doing that. And I heard people say this: he's free to say whatever he want to say. Why they trying to stop him from saying what he want to say? He can say that, he can say this, he can say that, right? Yes, the man can have freedom of speech. He can say whatever he want to say, but also people got the right to not want to fuck with him no more. Period. It is what it is, man, and he has to understand that, right? Because if you go out here and say something ignorant like that, you isolating a group of your fan base. You're isolating a group of your fan base who ain't did nothing to you. They ain't did shit to you. You know what I'm saying? Like you may be mad at one person in particular, but then you go out in front of a festival and basically just make people that have HIV and AIDS feel alienated or feel like their life ain't worth nothing. It ain't amounting to nothing because the baby out here make it seem like you ain't worthy of putting your cell phone in the air if you got HIV and AIDS. Like them people can help getting that disease. It's people like, come on, fam, like, or they can change it overnight. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, man, like, people don't want that. People that got that don't want it. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to have that virus if they got HIV. Like, people don't want to have that or deal with that. It's people that were born with that. They had no control or no say-so in getting it at all, right? And then he made it try to come back behind it as if, like, something like that, or my fans ain't dirty like that or whatever. Like, fam, people can get HIV and AIDS off one sexual encounter all in their entire life. Sleep with the wrong partner and end up with it. So it's like, what the hell are you saying then? The boy needs some PR folks, public relation folks, ASAP, fast, because he lost a lot of bags because of that statement. But I'm still feeling like, why the hell did he feel like that was cool to say? That let me know that brother he really don't think for real. Just say whatever he want to say off impulse, and that's a dangerous thing to do. And I told y'all in the past, even with him and his antics with fighting and all that shit like that, I feel like he was trying to build up his image off beating people's ass and all of that. And some of those fights in my opinion, may have been manufactured, right? Like, look, I'm a fan of the music or whatever, you know what I mean? And sometimes it does get repetitive, I ain't gonna lie. But I still think the dude can rap, for real. He really, really can rap without question. He has talent, for real. You know, I'm not gonna skip over that. I'm not gonna act like he doesn't, right? But I felt like a part of his image was based upon him killing the dude in Walmart. So he tried to he basically tried to run with this narrative that he's somebody that you don't want to mess with, which a lot of gangster rap dudes do. So he has some incidents that may have been manufactured in order to help bolster his image. He going around here trying to whoop everybody's ass because it looks like he's an authentic rapper. It makes people gravitate to him. And I said, man, he gonna be a liability to himself. But I didn't think he would be a liability to himself outside of just putting his hands on folks. He a liability to himself in several ways, putting his hands on people and by his mouth, right? And when you try to say when you just going out here saying whatever the hell you want to say, it's consequences behind that, brother. It is what it is, man. You can't go out here and offend a whole group of folks. I'm saying, like, again, at that crowd, I'm sure it's a whole bunch of the baby fans who may have HIV or AIDS. It's a nice crowd of them. They were in attendance at that concert, I'm sure, without a doubt. They were in attendance at that concert. And they heard him say that, like, well, damn, like, the baby don't fuck with us, you know what I'm saying? Because they have that, like, they have that virus that they wish nobody want to have in the first place. You know what I'm saying? It just sounds silly as hell. And then I heard this too, right? Because people were like, it's funny. The moment he say something, and I ain't even talking about the whole sucking you know what comment, whatever. I didn't even get on that, but the HIV AIDS part. But people like, well, it's funny. The moment you say something about, you know, the homosexual community or certain crowds of people, when you say something about certain crowds, you get backlash. But he's allowed to say gangster rap, and he's allowed to say the N-word and talk about killing black folks every day of the week, and he's praised for it, and that's perfectly fine, right? And you know why his music label or whatever the label he's with is fine with him making that content? You know why? Because we as black folks love the content too. I'm guilty of it too, right? I be bobbing my head and snapping my fingers to all these rappers talking about killing dudes and killing black dudes left and right. I'm a hypocrite. I talk about it all the time. You know, I say it's wrong, but I listen to it in the music and I like that content, right? And as long as black folks don't say nothing about the content and we let it ride and we eat the content up by going to his concerts and selling out his concerts, selling out his shows, buying his albums, so on and so forth, if we don't put up an uproar against it, guess what? The record label's gonna be like, the hell, go ahead, keep putting out that content. Keep talking about killing black folks because it sells, it's making them money. Right? So why would they want to deviate from a plan that's making them bread? They ain't going to tell him to stop talking about killing folks and all of that because it's making him money, right? But the moment he tries to alienate the HIV, people that have HIV and AIDS, oh, it's going to hurt their bread, right? It's going to hurt it without question. He's being insensitive to a group of people who did nothing to him, right? And nobody did nothing to him, wronged him or whatever, and he's saying derogatory things about them, making them feel like they ain't shit, or they ain't nothing, or whatever, making them feel like they ain't nothing. And then it's going to take away, they're not going to want to support him no more, which will take away from his sales, right? But he's able to spit all that music about killing black folks and all that because we as black folks, we eat it up. We ride with it. We don't post no backlash against it. We ride into it. We bumping our music. We bumping our heads to it. All of that. We jam into it in the club. So it's selling. It's doing what it's supposed. It's doing what the record labels wanted to do, which is generate revenue. So they gonna be perfectly fine with him making that content. And until we say, oh no, we ain't standing for these rappers talking about killing black men, shooting black men up every day of the week, him bragging about him killing the other. In his song, he bragged about killing the dude in the Walmart a lot, right? And people loved him for that. That's the reason, in my opinion, that's the reason why he even got bolstered, or that's the reason why he got pushed to the forefront anyway. The reason why people wanted to check out his music was, one, because of the incident in Walmart. They heard about him killing the dude in Walmart, and that incident when they saw him stand his ground when he was in the outskirts of Georgia somewhere, and them dudes talking about he needed permission slip and so on and so forth. After they saw that, he fit this tough guy image. People fed into that because a lot of folks in the hood want authenticity from these gangster rappers, and they fed into it, right? And the machine keep churning. Okay, people love that music, the content, because the baby got a huge black fan base. His fan base is a huge fan base of black folks. Now he got a fan base of people from all ethnicities for sure, but it's black following is huge. And as long as we ride to the music, we bobbing our head to it, we eating it up, we going to the concerts, buying all his albums, the record company's gonna be fine when I'm talking about killing black folks all the time because it's selling. And we not providing any pushback to it. We're not in uproar about it at all, so they riding with it, plain and simple. If y'all don't want him to make that content about killing black folks and all of that, and y'all feel like it's wrong, and the record company should not be promoting that and pushing that, then we gotta be like, hell no, we gotta say hell no, we ain't standing for it. We don't want to hear him talk about killing black men no more. We don't want to hear how many black folks he can shoot up and all that. We done with it. That's the way to end that, right? So, but to me, it's not the equivalent. It's not equivalent because, you know what I mean? If we don't want them, if we feel like one thing is not held to the same standard, people having HIV and AIDS or people attacking the homosexual community or whatever, if it's not held to the same standard as black people or whatever, we feel like, oh, he can say the N-word and he can talk about killing black folks and it's not held to the same standard. Black folks got to change that narrative because we the one that's really buying his music. We the ones that's really feeding the machine with his music in particular. You know what I mean? So that's what it is, man. But like when you make a statement like that, you know, you got to be prepared for the consequences. Put his foot in his mouth, and he needs a PR team for real to get him together because he just say all type of crazy shit, off the wall stuff to get him in trouble all the time, right? He don't know how to read the room, and that was his problem. Furthermore, I saw the Chicago dude by the name of Bandman Kevo saying that all the other festivals and concerts and all of that were canceling him for clout. They wanted clout. They wanted recognition. They wanted clout for their concert. They wanted to achieve some type of notoriety for their concerts or whatever. So they felt like if you denounce the baby, your concert gets a certain amount of notoriety. It gets a certain amount of clout. If you say you're not standing with the baby, people gonna pay attention to your concert. And he said it in particular about Lollapalooza. And I'm looking like, brother, are you stupid, high, or dumb, or all three? I don't know. Because for one, Lollapalooza don't need no goddamn notoriety. They don't need no publicity at all. Lollapalooza don't need publicity at all, especially about the incident about the damn baby. For one thing, the majority of the acts at Lollapalooza is not even hip-hop music based at all. It's a lot of Lollapalooza acts that are hip-hop or whatever, but we in a minority at that damn concert for real. I'm in Chicago, Illinois, right? I know for a fact majority of that concert will sell out even if the baby ain't nowhere around. That concert, people come far and wide. People come from other countries to go to Lollapalooza. All across the state, other countries just to come in town and flood Chicago for that concert. for that festival. That's one of the biggest music festivals in the world. You think that festival needs some damn publicity? Oh, I'm looking like, man, Bandman Kevo don't know what the hell he talking about at all, man. But like, yeah, fam, when you start talking about that, isolating a group of your fan base for no apparent reason and making them feel like they disgusting and they dirty and all that, saying all that, if you ain't coming here with one of them deadly sexually transmitted diseases that'll make you die in 2 to 3 weeks. For one, you know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, it sounds very, very insensitive, and it sounds like they make you die in 2, like, bro, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, you basically making it seem like their life ain't worth nothing, and like they ain't worthy enough, and they ain't, to really be putting their cell phone lighters up at your concert and rocking to your music. It sounds horrible, right? So I didn't feel bad for the brother. When you go out there and say all type of wild shit with reckless abandonment, you know what I'm saying, and think you can just do what you want to do, that's the type of stuff that come with it, man. The same way he think he can whoop on everybody's ass, whether you a woman or a man, just beat your ass all throughout all the time, just to get clout and be on headlines and all of that. He think that's cool to do that because that builds his image up as the baby, the dude. You're going to keep losing bags. You're going to keep losing checks. I said he going to lose checks for whooping people ass because that's what he feel like his image is based upon. Now he losing checks for putting his foot in his mouth and saying what the hell he want to say and thinking that's cool to just say certain stuff like that. Where you think you're not going to have any type of backlash from it. No man is above reproach, no matter what status you are or however far you come in the game, period. It is what it is, man. And he got to understand that. So I didn't feel bad for him at all, man. Like I didn't. Like you got to be able to know what to say, when to say it, what not to say. And that was just it wasn't called for at all. So I'm like, I'm not feeling no type of way about, oh man, no, bro. You can't be out here saying certain stuff and think you ain't gonna get no backlash from it. It is what it is, man. Machiavelli Mills TV, I'm out. Peace.